the saga of Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber, all the drama, it continues.
Yeah.
Because when does it ever not?
You know, what kills me about this being back on the headlines, because we took technically 2 weeks off from like recording and like doing hot topic notes and stuff. And when I kept seeing this in the YouTube home feed, I was like, oh my God. But all of the information that came out in this 7-part documentary about Hailey Bieber's obsession with Selena Gomez, we all learned about this 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's literally nothing new that we haven't heard about already.
No, I want to say all of this information first came out, was it during Eyebrowgate? Where like Selena was like, I laminated my brows too much.
Yeah, yeah.
And Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner are
Yeah.
sending each other Instagram stories
And
about
they
her.
and they were talking about how Hailey stalked Justin, and they were coming up with all these like videos proving that. And then they were like, and she was obsessed with Selena too, and look at her holding this magazine of Selena. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But like we already knew about it.
Yeah. So I don't really understand why all of this is like back in the news.
It's because it came from TikTok, and
Yeah.
people regurgitate stuff on there.
Or
and
the
then
kids
act
were
like
too
it's
young
theirs.
2 years ago to be doing what they're doing right now to know that this actually already came out. But, you know, the craziest thing that I've just heard people talking about that I was reminded of is just like the G tattoo. I will say, I think there are some non-coincidences, and I do think Hailey copied Selena.
For sure. Yeah, I think that she had a case of I'm obsessed with my current boyfriend's ex. And I think we've all been there.
Yeah. Olivia Rodrigo put out a song about it. Like, it's a common feeling, but I also think that Hailey Bieber was a huge fan of Justin Bieber, and she's never, like, admitted to it.
Yeah, she needs to just come clean.
I know, because it was Trisha and Oscar on their podcast. They were talking about how, like, she tried to act like she didn't know who Justin Bieber was whenever she, like, went to his premiere where she met him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yes, you did. Jill knows that Hailey Bieber knew who he was.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a believer back in the day.
Yeah. So,
we followed each other on Twitter.
Yeah, there was a girl that came forward. Actually, it's the girl that did this documentary, that whatever documentary you want to call it, that the TikTok thing was, that all that information came from a video that came out 6 months ago from a creator who was one of Hailey Bieber's Twitter Jelena friends. Mm-hmm. And they were like super fans, and they would message and like plan to go meet up where Justin was going to be.
Yeah.
And you had interactions with her on Twitter?
I did, yeah. We followed each other on Twitter, and then my interaction had nothing to do with Justin Bieber with her, but it involved, you know, Cody Simpson, who dated Miley Cyrus at one point. So he was like big at the time, and she was in one of his music videos or something, I believe. And so she was kind of gaining traction because of that. And she posted something and was like, send me your phone numbers, like DM me your phone numbers, and I'll call selected like people or whatever. So I sent her my phone number, and we like talked on the phone for like, she was Hailey Baldwin back then, and we talked on the phone, and like now she's Hailey Bieber, and it's like, that's just like so crazy to think about.
I know, she was just like a fangirl on Twitter. And it's like, it's okay. No one would even care if you used to be a fan and now y'all are married. It's the fact that she tries to act like that's not the case.
That's like what makes it weird, because it makes it like sus. It's like, I don't know about that, you know?
Yeah. And I think it all like went and got turned into bigger news because for whatever reason, this all started because Hailey Bieber liked a freaking TikTok that was slightly shading Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. Well, what if she just accidentally liked it? That can happen. And I'm sure there's Selena stuff on her feed, like from the way that everything is. But her publicist tried to come forward and say that she didn't do that, and that a content creator is running with the story. You could just say it was an accident.
Yeah, literally.
There's a screenshot and evidence that it happened.
Like if it was an accident, then that could explain why that little screenshot happened, and not like, you cannot say that it did not happen.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I'm like, y'all are making it look worse by just not being honest. But I think I forget who I was listening to, but they were talking about how like we're in an age where like old PR tactics do not work anymore.
Because we're like, we know about it. We know. We've seen it enough.
Yeah, we've grown past it, and, like, we just have so much information with the internet now that you can't, like, have a publicist just come out and make a statement and everybody just believes you.
Yeah, and I truly think that people these days, probably from seeing so much, like, the PR, like, through all the decades and stuff, I feel that people appreciate honesty more these days. Like,
100%.
They would totally just be like, all right, I feel you, girl. Like, I've been there. I like stuff talking shit about my boyfriend's ex. Like, you know, like, I feel like that's pretty relatable and common. And, like, even if you like Selena, you could understand that she did that. You know?
It's not weird. She makes it weird by acting like she would never do anything like that. And it's like, we've all been there. We were all alive when Justin Bieber was at his peak. We know what it was like. We get it.
Yeah.
And the stalker Sarah.
Yeah.
She's kind of relevant to the story. I just put this TikTok in here that she made. If I'm not mistaken, she's just the girl who got famous for being in so many photos with celebrities, right?
Yeah, she, like, worked her magic. She somehow would figure out where these people were. She did it purposely. She didn't just, like, run into these people. Yeah. She was stalker Sarah.
And in all the photos, she looks exactly the same.
It looks as if she straight up went to Canva, took her one picture with, like, whoever she met, and, like, made it a sticker and put it next to all these other celebrities. She's making the same exact face.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I live for stalker Sarah.
Well, her TikTok, I didn't know that she was, like, still, like, an active, like, content creator, but she owns it. And, like, that's why I was like, this is funny.
Yeah.
So I put her TikTok in here, but her handle on TikTok was stalker Sarah.
Like, literally, I love when people just own that they're weird. Or
I know.
I love it. And I feel like a lot of people love stalker Sarah.
Yeah.
And it's like I know, I'm not saying that Hailey Bieber was as bad as stalker Sarah. But it's like, it'd be the same thing if she would just own, you know, her Justin Bieber infatuation.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Hailey Baldwin. Okay, so I have to come to you guys because I cannot be bothered to find the screenshots. Okay, does anybody remember when Hailey sent all those random tweets about me in 2012? This was so random, and I've always wanted to also, this is no hate to Hailey or anything like that. This is just journalism. It's my job. But I've always wanted to talk about this because Justin essentially mentioned it to me, like, years later. So in 2012, I was in my prime of taking pictures with celebrities. I was very active on Twitter, very active on social media. And, people hadn't adapted to social media yet. It wasn't trendy or cool to, like, be nice to each other or, like, lift each other up or anything like that. It was honestly trendy and relatable or whatever to be really petty and be really mean on Twitter, and indirect tweeting was really big. Obviously, a lot of people haven't grown out of that. And just being mean was, like, relatable, and that's what got retweeted the most, right? So I was always, like, trending on Twitter, and it would just be a bunch of trolls, but it was like ants, like, it's like a swarm of ants. And so in 2012, I was also linked to my friend who is an actor. I have quite a few actor friends, so this has happened a few times. And I was 16 at the time, definitely not dating anyone, very career-based. And, like, my followers and media and stuff, they were like, oh, they're dating, they must be dating, they're always hanging out. And so I was like, nah. But Hailey Baldwin jumped on it, and she decided to send some tweets that I just thought were, like, so strange. She sent, the first one was, so-and-so, my friend's name, is dating Sarah M. online. What is happening, this is world? What is happening, this is world? And I was like, I don't know, what is happening, this is world? And I was like, oh, Hailey Baldwin, you know, I looked her up, I'm like, yeah, she's a Baldwin, and I knew she was, like, a big fangirl. I'd seen her in the Austin Mahone fandom and the Justin Bieber fandom, and I don't know if she was ever in the One Direction fandom, but, like, I'd seen her tweets and stuff like that, so I was just like, oh, let me just be nice to her, right? So I was, she spelled my friend's name wrong, so I corrected her, and then I was like, oh, I saw your dad on Good Morning America this week. He seems like a really nice guy. And she completely disregarded that, and she just said, well, if you're happy and he's happy, then good for you too, ... And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess she doesn't want to be friends, but I just thought it was a really weird way to introduce herself, because obviously I'm going to see her, and the first picture in this slide is literally, I saw her a few months later at a Justin Bieber concert, and I took a picture with her. But then 4 years later, I see Justin, he calls me over to the car, and he's like, do you not like Hailey? She says you don't like her. And I was like, whoa, no, I don't really have any opinion on her. I think she's the one that doesn't like me, because she was the one tweeting me and stuff. I didn't really know who she was, so dang, I'm running out of time. So I found my quote tweet. Yeah, what is happening? This is world. And then I sent her this. I said her dad seems like a really awesome and smart guy. And then that's where she was like, well, if you're happy and he's happy, then good for you too. I was like, me and your dad?
I literally remember, not exactly those tweets or whatever, but I remember just seeing, because I followed Hailey, and then, I knew of Stalker Sarah, and I probably followed her too.
Yeah.
And, I remember just, people tweeting Stalker Sarah all the time, and whatever. So, that's very nostalgic to just go back down.
She was so niche, but she is having her resurgence 10 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Here for it.
So obviously we don't have to break down all of this Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez, whatever. We get the concept. But we made a little conversation about it earlier, but do you think this will ever stop?
No.
I don't either.
I don't think it'll ever stop. And I think the internet will go crazy when they get back together.
I honestly, as psychotic as we sound, and I'm not one of those people. I would never send hate to Hailey Bieber because of this. And I feel so bad for her. Mm-hmm. But I do see Justin and Selena getting back together one day.
So do I. I really do.
I'm just going to say it though. The way that Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez put themselves out there, I don't believe them. It's like that thing where they say the longer the Valentine's Day caption, the worse off the relationship is. Mm-hmm. They just went on Hot Ones
literally
today.
Every day it's something. It's our first date was in Sunset Boulevard, and so that's what this song is about. Flop century. Yeah. Sunset Boulevard, no.
We got a collab album, we got an engagement, we got a tub full of nacho cheese. That's all fine. Just don't show it to us.
Yeah.
You're overexposing the relationship, and that's probably the worst thing you could do.
Literally. Take it from your friend Taylor Swift. You don't do that.
In the Hot Ones episode, they were talking about Taylor Swift and how Selena turned Benny into a Swiftie. And now he's in the car listening to Taylor Swift songs from 10 years ago and feels more free than ever. This man used to be friends with Scooter.
And Justin.
Yeah.
Who don't like Taylor.
You know, the Hailey Bieber video.
Yeah. And with how we said that we think that Selena and Justin are going to get back together, I feel this because I just feel that, the Mandela effect, how the Mandela effect is when everybody is why do we all remember it this way? And we can't all be crazy.
Yeah. It's why do we all think?
Yeah, that's how I feel about this situation is why do we all think that they're going to be together one day?
Yeah.
It's we can't all be crazy. It's a weird Mandela effect. That's not even the right terminology for this scenario, but we're going to make that be what it is.
Why do we all, I don't think we're all sitting around hung up on it.
Yeah.
And maybe we only think about it because the drama's been so continuous with it, but it's I just don't think Hailey Bieber would care or acknowledge any of this if there wasn't something to worry about. I can't help it, and I'm a little bit afraid to even talk about it in a lot of speculative ways. We don't really know what we're talking about. We don't know anyone involved. We're just yapping about it.
This is just our opinion. We're just having fun, okay?
Yeah, but apparently there was a source that went to TMZ that said that Hailey Bieber is talking about suing people, and I think it's because that content creator buckled down and she was like, I did not lie about her liking my post. And it's if Hailey Bieber wouldn't have just lied about liking the post, you could have just liked it on accident. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did see that about her suing. And that's a little crazy to me. Because I'm I get that you don't want people talking about you and your relationship anymore. but like they're going to.
Yeah,
like
like
when you
you
marry
marry-
Justin Bieber, they're
you
going to
marry-
talk about your relationship.
Yeah, you married a celebrity. My only thought is like if it's making the public dislike her, it could hurt her sales. But you didn't start your business till after you married Justin Bieber.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had enough Hailey Bieber slander at this point to where if that was going to affect Road Beauty, it would have already.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jill,
And I'm Alyssa.
and you just watched a clip from Glitter Gel Pen.
We upload new episodes every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And we also upload clips like the one you just watched 3 times a week.
Subscribe for more.